Hey everybody. Sorry I'm a bit late to this one. Um, I was in the wrong table and then I wasn't. I was AFK, essentially AFK. Um, so I missed the start of this one, but it looks like we got peasant openings plus night watchman. Pretty similar so far, except that crabcat managed to hit an old witch. It's not immediately clear to me that old witch is better than mask, but probably. I guess witch for mask usually favors mask, but it's not so clear that the old witch, that extra card could matter. Um, all right, so I've got to play their old witch, but did draw their soldiers. So that's not good. That's a second night watchman, also terrible. And it triggers a shuffle for. That's terrible. That was just. I don't know. That looked really bad. That looked really, really, really bad to do. I guess they. Oh, I see what happened. Never mind. I was a little confused there. Yeah, okay. So they're doing it to skip by, which is not unreasonable, except that now you have two night watchmen, which is awful. Oh. Dame Molly is also pretty appealing as a top knight on this particular board, at least for a little bit. I would not be mad at somebody taking Dame Molly ahead of Witch because, I mean, you can hit a Traveler and then they'd be very sad. Um, Obviously it's not like likely necessarily, but um, no one's passed Soldier yet. Got the two soldiers. I guess this shuffle's fine. I mean, you don't love doing it, but I guess it's okay since you're only seeing three of it. But still kind of rough. You're giving them a curse. You're buying a 5. I mean, you're getting to stuff you wouldn't have been able to afford otherwise. So I think it's probably correct. I don't know what your toss here is, crabcat. I guess the copper. Discard the copper, but you could discard the night watchman too. Noe is not what I would have guessed. I guess unless you're just committed to not playing the masquerade, but that seems pretty weird. I guess if you know your opponent's gonna pass you Noe, then you're fine, right? Anticipating. Night Watchman keeping who Night Watchman's the Night Watchman? Age old question. Night watches, I guess I should have said it. I blew it. Next time. Look at all these old witches. They're so old. Guess you buy another native village. I don't know. Does chesstick have? I guess chesstick doesn't even have a trasher. I would probably buy a trasher. I would probably buy the goat herd or the masquerade. You know, I didn't even know the head gang of pickpockets. and I've been paying very good attention to this. I guess they've been soldiered a few times, so it didn't matter. And then the other times I just was paying no attention. I guess if you don't need the dollar, you can keep both of the Night Watchmen and get up to the end of this shuffle. I guess if you know if there's at least one good card down in here that you want to keep anyway, probably better. Well, I mean, it really depends on what you want. If you want to get the 2/2s, then obviously this is pretty important to do this way. The chesstick did take the goat herd, which I think I like. Yeah, the favors are not super easy to come by here. I mean, not at. I mean, it certainly comes at the expense of trying to do a bunch of the other good things. So later on, I guess later on you could get them easily if you're just way ahead and have a broker. But until you're way ahead, it's pretty hard to take the time to get the broker. This Molly is so scary. Yeah. Well, okay. It's actually. I mean, it's obviously it sucks to see your disciple flipped. Regardless, but it's doesn't suck so much to see your Night Watchman trashed. But the disciple flip, of course, is brutal. Look at this hand. The chesstick has here. It's rough. As another peasant. Okay. I don't really have a good sense of the deck composition to whether it's peasant or native village for crabcat, but either one seems like it's probably pretty good, so. This is so rough. For chesstick, at least this hand. I wonder if crabcat thinks this is a teacher board. We're going to find out right now. crabcat does not think it's a teacher board. I'm not sure. It might be a teacher board just because you don't have. Well, for one, you're at the end of that shuffle, so you were gonna get the teacher in here, so that was kind of nice. And then the other is that the decks are kind of a mess, so teacher can sometimes help with that a little more than disciple because disciple is struggling to find good targets sometimes here. This is okay. I guess they'll probably disciple the mask. Chesstick, or not chesstick, crabcat. What's on the mats? Peasant cough. Soldier? A soldier on the map. I'm gonna get that soldier off the mat. Sometime. Oh no. Oh no. I think if Chesstick doesn't draw an old witch off this fugitive, he probably just is completely lost. He's also gonna go down to 2 or to 3 cards here. I assume the soldier's coming off the mat now. I mean, why not? Oh, apparently it's staying. That surprises me a little bit. I would be wanting to send the soldiers on their way, but I guess he didn't have actions for it. So it was the question between moving a peasant up or a soldier. Fair enough. I'm using the buy, so okay. I can understand it. Chesstick discarded Necropolis, which has to be a mistake. You have to play for the out where you find an old witch on top here. I don't think you want to disciple the fugitive. I mean, from this hand now you do, but when you had the Necropolis, I think you need to. Yeah, I mean, this is still nice, but like, you had a chance to like have a really nice turn if you keep the Necro there. So I don't agree with this or that soldier choice by chesstick earlier. Because you're kind of at this stage so far behind that you have to start like looking to. Maybe I'm wrong about how far behind they are. I guess is possible. Certainly felt that way to me, but this is a terrible hand for crabcat. So maybe both the decks are just awful, and not awful in the sense that they built them badly, but there was a cursor. There's a cursor, and they both open Night Watchman. They both have. They don't have 2 anymore, but at some point they did. They've gained 2 anyway, each of them. This is really nice. I don't know how many cards to the Masquerade track. The only myth, so Godard's gonna draw a couple here. I don't know if you can afford to play the. Actually, don't know. I guess you can afford to play Native Village because you have the Night Watchman anyway. I don't know exactly how big that discard pile is. It's got quite. Probably enough that the Night Watchman can get through it. I don't know that I mean, I guess I get the idea behind keeping the curses. You're thinking, why trash a curse that the old witches will trash for me? That depends on the money, but I guess it's not an unreasonable line of thinking. This worked out pretty nice. I think it would have been nicer if it had been gaining another old witch and drawing through more cards, but still very good. Good enough to make me wonder who's winning in any case. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason not to set aside there. They go Native Village Mask. Like, you keep like one of the curses. Maybe you keep the Necro, I don't know. You know there's a Native Village, so you don't have to keep the Necro. They go for teacher. Yeah, I think especially there when you have the other disciple coming online right then, I like the teacher there. It just feels like they don't have so much control here that the disciple is more powerful than the teacher. Okay, crabcat also. At some point, crabcat exchanged. I guess it was. I think it probably would have sort of do it the turn before. I don't know. So crabcat draws teacher off the top of the shuffle, which is huge. chesstick tosses the goat herd because it's not going to draw any cards. See, basically, chesstick gets one more card of search here. The first native village reveal. I think, yeah, if you set aside native village with it, just set aside twice and don't buy anything. Yeah, this is rough though, because you pulled the village out. Like, you pulled the village out of this hand. I mean, you don't know. You may not have gotten to some of the other cool cards here if you hadn't done it, but this is rough. Okay. Well, that's rough. Yeah, like what do you? Definitely the traveler knight or knight attack style things mixes can, it's always a possibility. If my opponent writes oof though, it's fine. Another old buy native village. I mean, the good thing is, um, she did her job. Old Dame Molly, or young. I didn't call her old. You didn't hear that. I didn't say that. The what? You just buy native village. I mean, you've got more of the smithies now. That's true. JC threats. Yeah, I think you just buy a native village and kind of hope you cobble together the native village smithy kind of thing. You're obviously yeah, I think the buys native village. I don't think I exchange again for teacher here. I don't think I want to play this with 0 disciples, but I don't know. Just it goes for the teacher. It's just gonna be a long time before you see the benefit of that. And you frankly may never see the benefit of it because more horrible things may happen to you. This native village is full of junk mostly, but the soldier's pretty good. This is going to be a rough, not that rough. I say rough. Passing the necro is fine. It's interesting that they didn't pick up there though. I think I would have picked up, but it's not crazy. I mean, you'll pick up now because you got to play this fugitive, but and the order of this is all a little bit strange to me because you may not have the actions to play another mask, but you kind of want to do soldier and then mask. So I don't understand playing the second masquerade there before playing this native. But yeah, they're not really. Crabcat's not even trying to like make the masquerade more awkward. But I guess it's gonna be sort of comparably awkward and even with the one attack, but still it can make it worse. There go those native villages. Soldier gets 4. You can have 8 in a buy, or you can have, more money than you need. I'm surprised they didn't trash a night watchman. I'm actually extremely surprised they didn't trash one of the night watchmans over the curses. But oh well. Going for the 2 buys. I mean, I think getting the native villages is the only thing that's a little scary now. I guess is the pile's getting low, but chesstick doesn't have a disciples. That makes the pile lowering a lot less scary. Leprechaun feels a little greedy. Like, you could have top deck native village old witch. Well, one of the teachers is in the trash. So that's the main reason it's pretty off. I don't know why. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the whole story there. Other than just the general whether you think they should have disciples over teachers, but I can kind of see the argument either way. The leprechaun seems so greedy. I don't get it at all, actually. I would have much preferred just top deck native village old witch and play another discipling peasants or whatever. Because now you're at a spot where draw's possibly a little rough here. So you don't even activate the leprechaun. I mean, I guess you can take a gold if you want. Most of the hexes aren't terrible, but the gold is pretty underwhelming. It's okay, but I think this turn is basically crabcat's own making, right? That they had a kind of cruddy turn is basically just on them. They had control over what was in that hand, so most of it, 2 cards of it, and it could have been village old witch. So now chesstick is gonna have a turn. Exciting. It's on the mat right now. Good stuff. A lot of good stuff on the mat. I would tend to pick up sooner than in that case. I don't understand those 2 set-asides. How many more native villages are even in the deck? What do they even have? This is just the whole deck. Now, chesstick's deck looks a little more amenable to leprechaun. Yeah, I don't know, Cave. That's probably better. that I guess some of that is like on opening hand, but if you already have the old witch in hand, it's kind of hard to believe it's not plus action on old witch when you have 3 of them. Oh. I don't even have buy. I really don't like the windfall. You don't have buy. You're not going to just single province here. That's not going to cut it. If you don't have a way to end the game, they should have picked up. They left 2 native villages on the mat. They should have picked up the second native village play here. Like, this is really bad. This set hovel aside. They should have picked the mat up because they could have played the soldier. They could have. That's just not it. Anyway, I don't want to be too harsh. I felt like I was too harsh in the last one. But I just think that's I think that was like a really big opportunity on that turn, and I don't think they're doing themselves any favors with like any of those choices. Um, there's like a few things going on here. Like you need to probably get a knight for one. I mean, you don't have to get a knight straight off, but you need to get yourself in a position to have gains to get the knights, because otherwise, crabcat's gonna start playing Molly like twice a turn, like right now. And then your deck's gonna get eaten up. Okay. I would have actually discipled Molly there for sure, in my opinion. Why are they not trashing? I guess they're worried about Masquerade. Oh, right. The curse came over post. Yeah. Um, I don't know. Nobody is really striving very hard to have like control with gains and stuff. But maybe that's just hard to do here. I guess chesstick can put a plus buy token down next on Twitch or something. Seems a little odd, but probably gonna be the play. If you can, I mean, if you have buy, at least gives you a little bit of 3-pile threat. You're gonna pick up the mat, of course, now. This is crazy. This is oh, they discard the teacher. Okay, they just I thought the teacher. I still think the leprechaun stuff is so greedy. They expect to activate it here. I mean, they have a chance, but I don't know. Seems hard. So chesstick's gonna have like a ton of money, and I think you play the soldier first. I guess it. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you play the soldier first? I don't get it. Like you have to be looking at this hand and thinking a little bit about the order to play this stuff. You have the villages to do it all. You don't need to draw deck because you don't have gains, so it doesn't matter if you pick up these golds or whatever's in the discard. It doesn't matter if you draw them or not. Help you change what you can do on the turn. So you could easily have played this soldier before the masquerade, and then crabcat is left passing you something nice. Maybe crabcat can pass the teacher without hurting themselves too bad, or they pass you a leprechaun or whatever. Just strange order. Matt now. Buys peasant. Okay, I would not have bought peasant, but I'm glad they're worrying about gains at least. I would have kind of thought, I would have. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's not. I'm okay with it. I mean, I'm okay. So crabcat will get to activate leprechaun. You really have to play the 2 masquerades so soon. Again, I feel like the player order here is not exactly right. Comes the wish. Wish is nice. It's on the mat. Oh, bunch of disciples. Wow. Wow. I think you can set. Well, now you got to pick up for sure. In the trash. You can play the masquerade, right? You're guaranteed to find an old witch, aren't you? You don't have to play disciple if you wanted to play disciple. You didn't have to do this way. I don't like this. I mean, unless you think you can pile up the masquerades right now, which it's not crazy, but you're probably not a million miles away from it. Crabcat's only problem this turn is that you won't have money. On the left, I guess you get the gold. And the wish could be money if you want. Get another disciple. That's fine. I guess at this point you're gonna putting yeah, you could get a vineyard. Yeah, I like that cave. I do like that. That seems like a pretty. Yeah, that looks nice. Wish potion looks very nice. I mean, unless you're piling out, yeah, you don't have to worry about it. Presumably next turn, the call is like action on mask for crabcat. You're pretty safe anyway. And next turn, like the pile out has got to be just super easy for crabcat, assuming they draw. As long as you don't give chesstick a pile out now. I don't think they have enough money. I mean, they would need $16. They would like need an estate pile out. I think the money actually is not the limit. I think you couldn't. I mean, I don't think you can do like masquerade, pile out, and province for a tie. Well, then your issue is like, well, we can see the hand, of course, is that crabcat's gonna probably lower their or improve their score by. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I agree with you there, Cave. For Y to fully, yeah. I mean, I don't think chesstick has 16. But even 16 is just like crabcat's gonna empty masks and buy another vineyard and be ahead. I just like one time want to see somebody play the soldier and then play the masquerade. I just once I want to see it. Or maybe even play the old witch and then play the soldier. And then, well, you probably don't have the actions for all that, but old witch basically gives you the vanilla bonuses peasant gives you as long as you play soldier. So I don't know what the last card is. Maybe a native village. I assume crabcat's just gonna lose the. I feel like you maybe give them the temptation. I guess they had already refused trashing several times. Crabcat was gonna hold on to this curse no matter what. Yeah. Just trash the night watchman. How much money is this? 9, 13, 17. They get double at least. I think it's still going to lose to a mask plus 1 vineyard pile out. Yeah, I mean, I would trash Night Watchman over copper, but I don't think it. I mean, having the copper doesn't help you that much. I mean, here you're not going to buy a peasant. I don't think that does anything. I guess there is a question of whether the what the correct play from chesstick's point of view here is, at least with regards to scoring versus just playing for a dud, even though the duds are extremely unlikely. But like if you need a dud anyway, like if you're scoring double province here it doesn't actually prevent your opponent from winning, then you might as well do something that's just adding draw and gains so that you can win on your next turn if possible. May still involve scoring a little bit. By the end of the turn, I don't know what Vineyard will be. I mean, I think it could be 8. I don't know what it is right now. I guess it's 6 right now. Yeah, it's just this one curse. So I assume 7 easily and 8 very likely, or very possible anyway. Yeah, I'm super unclear on what the play for chesstick here is, because there actually aren't even good like consistency buys that chesstick can make, right? If chesstick doesn't draw native village and old witch in the opening hands, then they're not going to draw. And I don't know. I mean, adding more old witches doesn't move that needle much. I don't think potion helps you. I don't think leprechaun helps you at all. Neither of those look very good to me. Broker makes sense to me. The broker I can get behind. The broker at least gives you some consistency resources. But I assume this is plus action on Masquerade. Yeah. So now you pick up, and then you can already start discipling the Masquerade. Wait, what? That's funny. I mean, like for me, I would grant this. It doesn't matter to me. And usually I offer at this point. I always think it's funny. I always prefer generally that people just go ahead and ask outright rather than like say, "Oh, I meant to do this" or whatever. Like it's obviously a request for an undo, but it's not just coming out directly and saying it. So I always prefer people just, if you want an undo, press that button, or press the button and explain yourself. Um. So I don't really know how this will play out. I try not to like, obviously things people do on chats and whatever sometimes are like socially abrasive, but it doesn't matter in the end. Just people trying to reach across the void with text alone can be difficult. Um, yeah, chesstick may not even be looking at the monitor. Yeah, I agree, Mr. Guy. If somebody like misclicks, just hit that undo button, because then like it becomes more clear that it's not about the information involved, or but yeah. Anyway, crabcat will probably. I mean, this draw could stall out. You could easily have two more stop cards, but did not happen. The next two cards, the first two cards off mask were terrible. The next two were really, really good. That's going to make it pretty tough. But I think at this stage, it's probably close to guaranteed seeing 5 more cards. Just a small olive branch. Here's a gold in your time of need. I mean, I guess this still too could stop. So again, I think the density of draw cards in these bottom 8 is extremely high. There's like 3 old witches or something. Well, I don't even know what's on the mat. Yeah, there's already old witch on the mat. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's 3-1. You're right, Kay. Let's not. There you go. That I can believe in, Terracubus. Right, they had to wish for a peasant. I don't know if they technically had to, but they did wish for a peasant. I do think the nice thing here is to stop playing your action cards. Yeah, okay. They did the nice thing. uh um I okay. So I think there were a couple turns there. I think the windfall from from chesstick coupled with the other exchange decision. It was a close game. I mean, down to the end. Close game, so they were both doing good stuff. It just I think there was a little bit of it's really hard because you watch the game and you think you can have in your mind this good deck because obviously there's drawn gains and all that, but they were getting cursed. So it's not like you can just freely remove 5 curses from your deck and have it run super smooth as soon as you want, while trying to get all the other stuff going. So, but there is some like missed points as far as gains and stuff. Like I don't think chesstick should have to buy a peasant $14 or what. guess here you probably do moneylender student. You don't have to do student actually. I could believe silver moneylender as well. So I can totally feel the silver. I mean, the fives are very good. Well, cobbler is very good if you can get early. And then the other fives are quite good later. Yeah, I think the student is justifiable too. I don't feel super strongly about it. Crabcat's gotten the replace. If chesstick goes replace or cobbler goes with replace, seems fine. This is true. This is probably maybe a shuffle too soon for cobblers, but there is like a shuffle where the cobbler looks just like way better than the other option. It's going to be a long time before they actually have control. This isn't going to be fast. With the single card trashing and like this, I mean, unless someone has just like perfect draws. See, like already, when you have a collision here like this, it already is like lowering the. I think you trash two this crabcat. Crabcat just goes with trash one. I almost think what you have to figure out here is how to thin as quickly as possible. Me too, Cave. Although I don't feel like Crabcat has done the student stuff as aggressively as maybe you need to. Because if you don't thin, the deck doesn't do anything. I think I don't buy anything as Crabcat. Not even Changeling. You already have the paddock. You have a tournament. Yeah, I don't love the Changeling. It's okay. I mean, I can understand. I don't think it's weird. These boards, this is the kind of board that makes you have visions and then just like buy $3 cards for like 6 turns. I mean, if you're crabcat, I guess I'd take another tournament. That's about it. Now another passage. You'd be fine with another one of them. Neither one is like super exciting, of course. I would probably take another passage. If I don't like the silver buy. I don't really like the estate gift or the curse thing. I guess I understand it. If you can hit 8 here, followers would actually just be a huge pain. Like a massive pain. I actually can sort of understand doing things that go for prominent, actually. I'm almost coming around to not even trying to do the good stuff quickly and just buy a province first if I can. Like chesstick actually got pretty unlucky here that he didn't hit 8. Like really quite unlucky. So I don't. This is a really bad draw. That's a good question, Cave. I guess it could have been. I didn't like the conjure really at all. This is gonna be like a turn 17 game with like 2 attacks played or something. I just get another tournament. I've changed my mind. At least if I'm playing chesstick, I'm not trying to do the fancy stuff. I'm trying to get a prize. And maybe I'll lose, but at least I'll have a prize. Like crabcat is just not gonna have terminal space for. I'm not gonna buy gold. I'm not gonna go so far as to say I buy gold. I wouldn't do that, but. But like these are the hands. I guess crabcat's gonna top deck procession. There's probably horses in that. I would have bought procession there too. Actually, I quite like that. Going with the procession on the replace, interesting. I can believe this. I can believe the proc on replace. What I actually hope happens, what I hope is that nobody, like that people just have a bunch of procs and then it doesn't run at all. And then nobody's happy. That's what I hope. Like here, this is beautiful. Proc conjure. But they get to, it's really a fine hand. They get to put a cobbler thing in hand, so they'll be totally fine. But I say totally fine. They should be totally fine. I would get the passage so that you have enough search space or more search space to actually find another 4 that you're allowed to play with procession. Unfortunately, crabcat's getting close to doing the stuff. Which is gonna be pain. Now you get to go like patrol procession or paddock procession. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is coming online fast enough for crabcat to win super cleanly here. Gets a passage, okay. And ooh, never mind. Wasn't too much too exciting. I think it is easy. Well, no, those horses were just gained. So no. Let's see. What are we doing with our second procession play? Because we didn't actually find anything nice. You could play the paddock twice. I guess you play the paddock twice so you can buy a province. Maybe. Yeah, okay. I like it. No, wait. I don't like it. Why would you... No. I don't like that. I really wanted to just procession paddock by province. You would have got to replace you would have got to replace like moneylender on top into whatever you wanted. Procession. Something. Play the paddock twice. We've gone back in time. We're going to do it. It's our chance. Play the paddock twice. What do I put on bottom of deck? I don't know what the cards are. I don't think you can actually have a well, I wouldn't have done the conjurer because you can just play the conjurer and then you're going to have the actions for that, aren't you? I guess maybe not. I guess this is fine if you want to get rid of the moneylender. Okay. I love it. When will you top deck? Kill the moneylender and turn it into what? I love it. I like chesstick's odds of getting a prize in the next shuffle. Truly do. You can get another. You can get your paddock back. Okay. Okay. And you replace. Just put a procession on top. That's what I'd do. I think there's a tournament down in here. Maybe not. There's at least one tournament in the trash, so probably need to. Yeah, I guess that's chesstick's issue is going to be having provinces in the deck for the for having tournaments in the deck for the province to collide with. They're really, really unlucky turn. I just want to repeat that. Where they hit $7. That was not good. Okay. Yeah, because like here you can't really play this. You don't really want to procession this tournament because you just want to give yourself a chance of. So you like play the tournament, right? And then you procession the paddock, I guess. Seems fine. And maybe you just don't play the conjure at all. You don't want to trigger. I don't know exactly what the last card is, but you don't want to trigger the shuffle with this tournament out of it. And you can put 4 more horses in and have 8 horses in the shuffle. That's really nice. The conjures have been so bad. Like, it's funny because you look at the board and you think, oh yeah, I mean, look at all these nice 4s to gain. They've been so terrible. I'm real nervous. Yeah. This is the problem now. You play this patrol, and then what happens? You pull a province out. You see province, you take it out of your deck, you haven't won a prize. You don't have tournaments. I mean, you give yourself a shot of like buying another province, which isn't terrible. Or like, I don't even know. Crabcat has the other tournament, right? Yeah. So these are both chesstick's tournaments now in the trash. Gone forever. No way to win a prize. I don't know, Cave. I'd have to think about it. I don't know if you even care that much about doing proc this turn. Unless you think you can win. Maybe. I mean, it's not a good question to ask at this stage, I guess, because we don't know what chesstick is doing yet. Chesstick could easily have 14 points, so. Chesstick could easily have 16 effectively, 16 difference. What chesstick needs to do now is figure out how to make sure these piles keep going down pretty quickly while still like just like buying provinces. You can top deck a tournament. I mean, you still haven't seen the province, so you could like replace. I mean, that's not. I mean, you can't. No. Yeah, I do the same thing, Cave. But so like here you can play paddock, right? Great, excellent. And then you can replace the estate into a tournament. Play the conjurer, buy a province. Play the cobbler. I mean, it's pretty good. That's a pretty good turn actually. And then like changeling for another. You conjure for. I think I would have conjured for passage, but tournament's fine. I think you're top decking. Well, really, with cobbler, you have a lot of options anyway, don't you? It's not. You're not that restricted. Like I can see putting a pair of passages, not a pair of passage, but a passage and a tournament on top instead of 2 of them. So, and I can see the patrol as well, actually. If you have procession, if you don't have procession, then this looks pretty scary, but it worked out. I just don't know what is the angle here that let crabcat score. I don't even know if the draw will actually make it all the way through. I guess replacing stuff is enough, probably. But you do have to get 2 more piles. Oh, right. Crabcat doesn't even have a replace. Oh, yeah, it just won't happen. Well, you can gain one. I don't like the conjurers, but it's not going to be a 17 turn game. I hope that won't turn out to be the case. I guess you probably still get here now. As long as all the processions are processioning processions and stuff, you probably still get there. At least tie should be pretty doable. I think I may be wrong about the piles. There may still be pile issues. Because it's not like Crabcat has a bunch of paddocks to play either to get changeling. You can get some changelings, but they're not. And I guess you can get changelings instead of doing some of the procession stuff if you decide to go for some different piles. Oh yeah, and your tournament gets blocked. Brutal. Sorcerer entry. Okay. See, but I don't. So now you gotta get a lich somewhere, or a bunch of liches, and then you replace the lich so you can get back to processions. I mean, it'll do it. So you're gonna this turn be able to procession. Or no, you didn't get a lich. So you have to procession replace now. And replace, get the liches. Yeah, you can procession. I mean, there are other things. You can procession other stuff, but like the paddocks or you just feel like it's gonna spin more than clean up. Because all these gains have gone towards not something that you're not gonna pile out. And then then your next turn you just don't even have a bunch of the resources. And ideally you're getting some of them back. Yeah. I still don't think this piles though right now. Or I don't think it piles and wins. Also some draw limitations. I mean, if Crabcat has a bunch of liches in deck and gets another turn, well, and Crabcat's definitely getting another turn, right? Chesstick's not piling out. Just a question of whether crabcat has a turn that's playable. Crabcat probably only needs like one more playable turn. Like any liches in hand at the start of next turn probably is enough. And crabcat should be able to set that up. I think the risk here is going for a win and lowering too far but not actually getting there. I don't think crabcat's in a spot where they have to win this. Oh. In the paddock. That's true. Could get a prize. Yeah, I mean, if you take a prize, and that could be brutal enough. I mean, you can get to the tournament pretty easy. I don't think that's a problem. It was a horse all along. A horse. Of course. So now they haven't gotten their tournament. They didn't play their conjure and get their tournament. Do they think they can win still? Maybe. Lich just simply also needs to give plus $5 plus 3 buys. Easy game. Obviously what you do here. Ooh, I wonder if there was a Steed Silvers pile out. That I do wonder. Yes. That I wonder. Not even allowed. It's not even allowed anymore. I don't want to. Yeah, I was gonna say there's only only have yourself to blame. The trick. Well, you have Lich. You can draw a million cards, right? You draw a million cards with Lich. So get the silver. Yeah, yeah. Do the steed. You could have done it from here. That would have been so cool. And maybe this still works anyway. This probably still works anyway. Yeah, this will work. But well, I mean, chesstick's not getting a turn. Is the main thing that chesstick is doing. I like this. This was a good direction to do it. I think the steed. I mean, I'm biased, but I wanted to see the steed stuff. That would have been pretty funny. Steed would have probably gotten you pretty close to a 4-pile. I bet there was a 4-pile there. Maybe not with steed alone, but with some other stuff. There's a lot of play order stuff you can do there. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a 3-pile, or not a 3-pile, 4-pile. Welp, it was there in the end. I doubted it. I doubted it in the middle, but it was all there. All right, now we have King's Court just to calm things down a little bit. We have King's Court livery just to kind of, you know, we wouldn't want to have too many horses. I guess we didn't end up with too many horses last game. It wasn't really a horse-heavy thing, particularly. Though they did their job there at the end. What do you got? Yeah, this is a board where the only good cards cost more than 5. Or cost 5 or more. So you just buy silvers over and over again. Or you pass. Or you say like, okay, fine, I'll buy a bishop, but I don't think you should do that. There's like a real limit to how many silvers you actually want. Yeah, I don't think the bishop line is gonna work out. I don't think that's gonna be the play. I mean, 2 silvers is great if you can stay there, but I think if you draw less than, I think you take a 3rd silver. On 4th you probably skip, but I think you probably take a 3rd. Yeah, but like this bishop is really bad. I mean, I get that the shuffle is terrible and stuff. The bishop is still really. Yeah. No, I mean it's gonna be one of those. I mean, crabcat hasn't had. I haven't watched all of them, but crabcat hasn't had great centuries so far. So it's not like crabcat was running away on that front. But crabcat is getting to pull out estates via their opponent. That is true. It is true, DZ. Well, I say you say that, except if you're ahead, you probably buy an engineer and empty the bishops if you're ahead, and then you get the animal fair stuff going. So I think that's I'm not sure that's true. I think you would. I think someone will buy an engineer once they have King's Court stuff, and then I think the bishops will empty. Because at some point the plain bishop is very good. It's just not. I don't know. I probably would never take the curse here. Buys are just too precious. And the VP tokens are not unique or hard to get. I don't think I would take the shrine ever. I mean, I guess if we're living in the world where the animal fair is giving buys, then yeah. What does this defiled shrine the defiled shrine read now when you gain a curse in your buy phase? It's one of those. I mean, I guess you could, but it won't help you. Like chesstick could take it this turn, but it won't help chesstick win. I would think it would work against them winning. Yeah, I would buy an engineer. Yeah. Like from here on out, your buys are just always, or not from here on out, but your buys are King's Court. You know, you play the livery. Did crabcat trash below $7? Or is there still a silver in there? There's still a silver. That's funny. Yeah. I just meant this turn. You should just like bishop the. What's the last card? That's it. You can trash silver, whatever. By King's Court. I'm real scared that they're not just clicking on King's Court. Okay. U. The U. Please take engineer. I was worried about that. I think crabcat will have passed chesstick on the VP tokens in like 2 turns. You get to king, livery, engineer, bishop. You're basically doing that for a few turns, and then one of the turns you buy an animal fair or something. I guess they don't get to king the bishop this turn, but well, I mean they can just lose the emissary. Use old Cisco. The I think how exciting you get to Circle of Witch again. Probably. Maybe we'll pile the curses. You could actually pile the curses pretty quick here too if you just bought a second emissary. you'd be given about, I guess, 1.5-ish turn, something like that. 1 1/3-ish of a curse. I mean, yeah, it's certainly a resignable position. I guess this turn, crabcat will do the animal fair, since you can empty the bishops over the 2 turns. And then next turn you can get some buy. The funny thing is your horse stuff stops, or your engineer horse interaction stops once the bishops are gone. Then you have to have buy to keep getting horses, or keep getting a lot of horses. Oiled yet again. Still be good. I mean, it'll still be good bishop fuel. Yeah, chesstick is a trooper here. I mean, you can trash them later. I mean, at some point you can get to a place where you're playing all the bishops that you have and getting points out of them. Like, you can get enough gains here. It can be quite crazy, but I mean, obviously you don't need to play king 6 bishops. Like, you do need to get an animal fair though at the end of this. But it doesn't matter. You set up you just put a million horses in the discard. You can't. There aren't really. I don't know. There aren't really dud situations. I'll say that, and then somehow it'll happen. Yeah, and why not trash that other horse? Much worse horse over there. Real nag over there. I know. Because bishops can, you can play the bishops later and get points and stuff. Should probably toss the emissary here. Oh yeah, this game's super over. Yeah, I mean, like Cave said, that's just rough on the opening if your opponent hits a double sentry. So I maintain that you're just like, you're just putting the nail in your own coffin if you buy the bishop. That's just asking for, that just basically takes away your only win condition, which is their sentries being sufficiently bad. And if you buy the bishop, then it doesn't matter if their sentries are sufficiently bad, because you're letting them finish the estates from hand or whatever, coppers and estates from hand. So Doesn't matter at that point, even if they have pretty unfortunate century draws. Another engineer board. We got towns. Towns are nice. I don't have a lot of draw besides just watchtower stuff. I guess you can do bandit modify stuff if you want. I'm not sure how good Sea Witch is. Depends kind of where they are on the modify watchtower positioning by the time you're near them. I mean, the kind of the consistency effects are okay, but not super good. If I'm kind of thinking it's a Sea Witch skip, but it's for drawn cards. Kind of thinking it's a Sea Witch skip, but I mean, I wouldn't be mad at somebody buying a Sea Witch. I don't think I've Sea Witch. It's kind of weird to say. It's like it goes together too well. You can't like say it separately. Sewage. Chesstick bought a Sea Witch. Okay. Yeah, it's like sandwich. Next time we'll get one someday. Seaside 3rd edition will have the sandwich. Looks like Crabcat also scared the witch from the sea. It's kind of cool art. Try not to look at the card art if I can help it, but it's kind of nice. Modify? What is going on? This shack needed a tower. Let's look at all the art. Moneylender. This guy's from like a hipster. I don't usually look at the art because it usually makes me sad, but yeah. This town has like a lot of buildings. I don't think this is a particularly yeah. My main complaint about Dominion art in general is just that I don't think a lot of it looks very good at icon size or whatever, which is where you see most of it. Like some of them look okay when you see them bigger, but a lot of them just look like, oh, it's just some colors flashed onto a square. So I don't know. They just look like nothing. And they don't go together, right? So you get a bunch of them and it's just a bunch of random colors. That are impossible to look at without hurting yourself. All right, what's been happening? Sea Witches and modifies and play. They're just buying I mean, they're buying the cards I think that are pretty good cards. I don't see anything to complain about. I don't know if you get a window where engineer looks good. It's kind of hard. I don't know that I would have ever thought that 5 Sea Witches would be bought, but okay. All right, I take back what I said. I don't agree. I think 5 Sea Witches is nuts. I think more modifies and more than 0 watchtowers has got to have been better. And I don't think I mean, that is a lot of points. Kind of confused about why 4 silvers have been bought, but Stopped watching the game, so it's not clear. That is a lot of points on a card, but I don't think that's right either. I just don't. I don't understand the early point grabs so often, and sometimes I get burned by it, but mostly I think people have that kind of miscalibrated. This looks like a nice like modify watchtower here. I like modify watchtower. I would like to see. Oh wow, crabcat's not doing engine stuff at all. Yeah, this should be actually really clean for chesstick if they do this stuff. I don't like the third sea witch. I just do not get it. But I would have loved to see modify watchtower there. Another silver. Okay, I don't. I'm afraid I'm going to be. I'm afraid I'm looking at some disappointment this game. It's like pretty clear engine stuff, right? Got all the things. What more could you want? Imagine this hand if this sea witch is a modify and this silver is a watchtower. You would trash, boom, 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 down. You would play a town, then you would play watchtower. You would draw like 5 cards. It would be incredible. And this is pretty good, but it's not incredible. I don't really understand I don't understand what you're contrasting with in this context, Cave. Like you can just do everything. There's not like, I mean, the good stuff isn't really like mutually exclusive at all. The bandit is just a part of the payload for modify. You may even trash the golds. I mean, I would expect a lot of the gold trashes to be down to distant lands. I'm not thinking for provinces exclusively at all. I think a large number of them would be down to distant lands. And then your distant lands comes with an extra point. So it's super. You're not gonna. I mean, there's no reason to like set. I mean, you get the provinces if you had to have the 6 point right then. Bandit is just the gainer on the board. I mean, in the buys from town or whatever. That was actually, I thought, a really cool board. we didn't actually get to see it. Yeah, I think engineer was viable too for sure. I mean, I think the bandit attack was not nothing there. So. Yeah, I think that angle would work too, Cave, for sure. I think at some point, gaining either bandit or engineer, neither one is like super harder than once. And in some situations, bandit's easier. In some situations. Anyway, like I said, none of it means you can't do the other stuff. Just as long as you make sure. Just as long as you make sure you're have deck control and this is not my old school Dominion. I'll tell you that much. This does not look like Turbo remodel. Turbo remodel is for sure the funniest like Dominion phrase of all time to me. Your mileage. It was just like the funniest of ISO times of people saying that. It was just like the worst. It was just not turbo at all. Unless the board, unless this my definition of old school Dominion is looking at a board and seriously considering playing terminal draw big money. That's when you know you found a board that speaks to the ISO diehards. Yeah, double jack money is a good one. The funny thing is double jack is like in ISO's lifespan is actually very short. So double jack is who crabcat. Yeah, I don't think Cardinal's very good here. There doesn't seem to be any issue with buying another wharf if they hit your wharf for a long time. Yeah. Yeah, that looks pretty bad. I do kind of get I kind of understand the sentiment in that there's not like wacky payload here. But I don't know. Even just having two projects makes it feel quite modern to me. You need for I would not touch the Cardinals unless I was like super far ahead or the wharves were empty and I could play it a lot. Play the Cardinal a lot. I wonder if people get focused on the encampments or not. Yeah, I mean it seems fine. Complaint, Kaplan. You also don't. Seems fine, but also still pretty underwhelmed. Now here we have the port hit. Where will they ever find more? Wonder if you top deck an encampment here. Apparently not. This is not very much money. Pretty sad. Crabcat got the canal. Kind of nice. At this point, yeah. I mean, you don't have the. I mean, I guess if you're just using them to gain encampments, it's not so bad, but I wouldn't get a second armor. You're just not really drawing that well yet. Chesstick couldn't resist the allure of the Cardinal. He's just I mean, he's dressed for success out here. I don't really know if I like it better than Cardinal, but I don't really like either one of them. He's pretty happy. I wonder what he's happy about. Or is it just like, is he completely senile and he just sort of like grinning at a bunch of people came to see him and he doesn't know any of them and he's just like, oh, I don't want to talk about poor senile Cardinal anymore. That aspect is nice, Dave. That's true. He wouldn't have even. Well, yeah, he would have. I don't know. Buy all the encampments, caravan guards. um, that's got to be like way worse than an encampment, and probably worse than a village. Though I guess action-wise, it just doesn't matter. Classic Cardinal attack. Brutal stuff. Brutal stuff. I would think even Hamlet is better than Caravan by quite a bit. I don't know if I'd buy Witch's Hut for a while. You could do it. I mean, it would be fine. But I would probably fight for the wars pretty hard. Honestly, if you take one wharf here, that's probably the last wharf you get. So you're basically deciding now if you want to take 2 or 1 wharf. Because your opponent is likely able to get 3 if they want. So you can do, I mean, you can decide that. You can say, I want to witch it. See, don't think I would do it. But Crabcat is just gonna go into the plunder. Go a plundering. People love plunder. They're just all about plunder. Till the day they die. Need to gain a wharf on top of your deck, chesstick, please. Okay. I don't like the Witch's Hut as we discussed, but especially because, like, I mean, I don't know how. I don't know exactly what's left in the deck. You're obviously not going to go for the curse now. I don't. So, I mean, the filtering is good too, though. If you just draw, you know, if you don't trigger the shuffle. Get more cardinals to discard to the witch. Well, I mean, like there you discard 2 estates. I mean, you saw more cards there. And with where the wharfs, yeah, but on a particular turn, like this particular turn, it does not look that crazy at all because the wharves were bottom decked. If you don't get the +4 from Witch's Hut this turn, you may very well fail to find one of these wharves. So I don't actually, I mean, having seen what the deck contents were, I don't actually have a problem with the Witch's Hut. I think I mean, seeing it now, it looks good. I don't know what else to say. I think I was wrong to naysay it. Because, like, You really wanted to play those wharves. I mean, you saved an encampment, so maybe you could have blown the encampment to get the similar, and then then it would be pretty nice. This is what people who buy plunders deserve, though. Plunder is so bad. I don't actually think it's that bad, but it's more like, for sure there are not like a huge number of trap cards in Dominion, but I think Plunder is one of them. I tend to think Cardinal isn't a trap card because most people don't get it, but they did buy the Cardinals here. So yeah, but like usually gold is better for that. Yeah, and you for sure encampments are not that good here. I mean, they're fine, but they're not. And hoop jumping doesn't. I mean, like Cave said, to work real hard for him does not seem valuable. I want to see Crabcat buy the last two plunders. That would bring me great joy. You can do it, Crabcat. You just click on the card you clicked on one more time. Oh, that's a bummer. How close are we to pile? Well, now we're getting kind of close. I mean, you can't chain. You can chain the wharf gain, right? They didn't actually have that much money. And then probably somebody needs to get a second armory on their turn and then buy a province. And then that person probably has reasonably good 3-pile threat. Still think you don't curse here. You might go armor. You might at this point go armory for armory and then armory for wharf and play all that stuff. So maybe you wait and see if you can find the plunder before deciding that. So you have to decide within a card or two. The armory honestly might be a little too greedy here. I hate that. This card. I think you go straight. I mean, if you're going to do that discard, I think you go straight to wharf for sure. They may go straight to second witch's hut. Plunders. I mean, you just play this encampment. You got 50-50. You go for it. You have to try and draw the wharf. Ooh, they drew everything. That was pretty lucky. Well, I guess it was just the only break was the 50-50. And otherwise, it wasn't really luck. I guess you could have bottom deck wharf and encampment, and then you wouldn't have seen any cards, but that was pretty nice. Yeah. The spy we never knew. So, like, if you're chesstick, probably need to buy a province. maybe you can buy province and armory. And if you're really greedy, you could buy province and double armory. Oh wait, I was doing the math with not costs all correct. This looks pretty good. I would get an armory with this. This is already a little scary actually, but probably not. It's probably fine. But I would get an armory. I mean, getting the armory at this point, the wharf is the dangerous part, right? Well, let's see. Crabcat would have to buy a province. Would have to buy and or gain a province, 2 plunders, and 3 ports. I don't think Crabcat has any estate stuff accessible. So that's a lot of stuff to buy, actually. I don't think they have that much. Yeah, I don't think that, I mean, they can obviously armory for some of it, but because just duchy isn't going to cut it, even if you play your plunder to do a witch. I don't like the conclave seems super bad, like very, very bad actually. Well, okay, curse would be very, very bad. Conclave is probably not very, very bad, but I think not good. You just wanted to take something there that's like safe, you would take the village. Ooh, chesstick reacts with the caravan guard. That's exciting. What did we armor for? Another witch's hut. All right, okay. So like we know. Well, I'll promise you this much: somebody with plunder VP is going to win this game. So I guess you can just claim it in that case. Discards or you're just gonna double province. You might have to. You might simply have to. You know, just province double plunder. I'm sure that'll work. Do that. You can province and hamlet. That's good. Hamlets are nice. Okay. Chesstick's hand does not look very good, even though it has 11 cards. Yeah. Just moving along. It still doesn't look very good. It still doesn't. Oh, now it looks fine. Never mind. Now it'll probably be okay. What are the odds? I don't think we're getting a pile out. Maybe if you had the second armory. Of course, if you had the second armory, you may have drawn completely dead, but the conclave, when I see that whatever the conclave does is not going to satisfy me. I don't think you need the buy. I don't think the Hamlet buy is important here. Again, I don't think like an estate. I don't know. Maybe an estate thing is in the cards. How much money is the estate thing? Well, it's $8, but what do we have as far as like yeah. I just don't think we're gonna have the gains here. There's probably more wharves. It might be kind of close. There must be who has two hamlets? Does Chesstick have two hamlets or does Crabcat have two hamlets? Crabcat. So no, I think you're right about the wharves cave. All right, so Chesstick has two more wars that could get buys, and then so that's only 8 buys. If only the Conclave were a card that wasn't Conclave, like a Hamlet or an Armory, then we would have a pile out. Assuming the draw got there, right? Hamlet would actually be the best from that perspective by quite a bit. I guess you still have to hit $16, which isn't necessarily trivial. So hopefully top decking some of it. Oh, right. Yeah. Never mind. $12. Does anybody know what game this is? I didn't write down the scores ever. I forgot to do that. I'll just ask my friend Dombot. Shout outs to the one and only Cabo Sapien. My scoreboard isn't going to have room for keeping score with a two-letter because they both are C's. Did they decide to get the buy? They did decide to get the buy, which seems fine. Oh, good. Thank goodness we had this enclave. It is funny. The Hamlet flip is actually probably pretty good. Yeah, that looks like what it is, Cave. That's pretty rough bottom deck. I mean, it was kind of looking rough to begin with because it was just all the green and the coppers showed up real soon. Conclave's so terrible. Now what do? Province, Hamlet? You just mirror, right? I don't think there's a lot of other options. I mean, you have to get some kind of points league. You can't go into, and it has to be kind of a decent amount. Yeah, it definitely sucks, though. I mean, at least, I mean, if they're not unlucky, at least maybe the village stuff will be okay. Oh, look there. Everybody has sadness. At least crabcat hit 7, I guess. This is like you got 2 cars to find a... Oh, we didn't even notice, or I didn't notice. I'm not very observant. The cardinal hit was pretty harmful on crabcat's last turn that he played and hit the witch. That was pretty rough. Yeah, didn't even find a village. This is tough. You just gotta play Wharf and Fry. To be fair, it was the Conclave's fault. Though, if you had found the Conclave, you still could have just drawn in. Or if you had a Hamlet instead, you could have only found Armory, potentially, which wouldn't have helped you. But then you could have at least top-decked a village. Well, you wouldn't put ports. Ports would be scary, but yeah, village or Hamlet would have been fine. The good news is there is no good news. I think you double Hamlet. I think that's fine. Maybe estate doesn't help you at all. Actually, that super doesn't help you. Like if your opponent draws enough to pile, they're gonna play plunders and pass you. So the estates are quite bad. You're hoping your opponent has some kind of sufficiently awful turn to not be able to pile. So the estates don't help with that. Now, I don't know. I mean, crabcat might fail to pile. But there's probably enough stuff here. How much you need? You just need 7. Well, I know you can get less if you have sufficient buys, but if you don't have... Oh, I didn't even see those. I hadn't looked in that corner. 6. Does anyone know if they're $2 in oh, no, it's in hand now. Never. I forgot Cardinal. Okay. And it just got the Conclave just for spite. All right. That was rough. I mean, that was a very bad bottom deck for chesstick. Like, you can't lie about it. Again, it's one of those things where I feel like the buys to the previous turn were not correct and made it that more likely, but it was still like a pathologically bad bottom deck of double Wharf Armory. Like in a deck that size, actually just real bad. real unfortunate. So this board is is a little weird because of the nature of the village, I guess, and just being university. Anyway, you've got enough stuff here to make the big inventor deck work. The inventor's boost this year is a little, depending. They can also make them worse. But there's not a friendly, not like a nice little cantrip or anything, which is going to make all of it run a little bit awkwardly. And then what's the liaison guildmaster? Alan Folk, of course, is that's correct. Clack here. I don't know if you're listening or not. That is correct. I think you can make Island Folk work. I mean, the thing with Island Folk, of course, is that you only have to get about 2 or 3 favors a turn to do it as often as you want to do it. Well, once is easy. The question is whether you can do it. I mean, Guildmaster has no problem getting or shouldn't have much problem getting the required favors, so. They both open Potion Catapult, which looks correct to me. You probably have to kind of wait on I was going to say that you have to wait on the inventors for a while, but they're right in, so. You can also, yeah, but it's like, again, the way Island Folk is priced, you only have to manage like, I mean, technically 3, but you only have to manage 3 like every once in a while, because you start with 1 and you, no, definitely not. I'm just saying I think it's feasible to basically get the extra turn almost every time. Once you're at that point. Or once you're drawing deck pretty well. But it is going to be a kind of a slow build up to. I think for each person or total? 6. You can also duplicate. You can also, instead of doing you can just have some duplicates set aside that eventually you, there have been 3 numbers said. Which one are you under? All of them? I guess I'm under all of them. I don't know either, but I don't know what you buy instead. But I agree. I don't think they're doing much. So I guess you buy silver so that you can afford dens. Well, it's not like you have, most of the time you're gaining seer. You can't gain den. I wouldn't buy seer over den. But most of them, I mean, the seer gains are going to come from university. I would also have already taken a guildmaster. 100%. That's a good point, Terracubus, about the cost lowering there. That's not clear. Oh wait, sear draws up either one. Yeah, the cost lowering there is fine. Never mind. I actually don't know what you're finding, Cat. I don't know what that comment refers to. But you just mean about the sear versus den. Sears can't draw that much here. Sears kind of, well, they can eventually, but I don't know. They're so slow at this. Anyway, I mean, all of it can be mixed in pretty easily without like it being a huge deal if you do one versus the other. Yeah, it is. It gives you $3 so you can buy the cards that aren't terrible, which all cost 5. Do you think the difference between like a denned hand against the catapult stuff is pretty big? Maybe the number of violent folk turns they're going to take is 0. It would be pretty funny if they just kind of straight down pile the university Sears inventors and nothing else ever happens. What about a druid? I don't know. I don't love the druid. There's just not, you're just trying to, there's not space. Yeah, you can't do the nice Sears stuff unless you have the supplement, unless you have the dens. It doesn't work. Otherwise you just can't trip around on stuff. Maybe someone will get a big, will have like a couple duplicates down and then den and get a big, nice big hand and then do that again. And well, look at this. They have the hand. I'm pretty well despairing of, oh, never mind, it happened. Guildmaster. Master of guilds. And that art. Whew. Well, see, it's okay blown up, but this looks weird. Great, but all right, this is the turn. Chesstick's going to get big draws. This Seer's going to draw at least 2 more Seers. Maybe a 3. It might be a triple sear top deck. You know how it goes. Win some, you lose some. I'll buy 10. Pretty exciting. Yay. Now just imagine you'd had a master down when you did that. Boom. Taking another turn. I think there were probably some turns here where people needed to exercise the choice of taking nothing. I think the number of inventors in the decks is probably excessive. So they could have been silvers. I think actually silver would have been quite good here for quite a while. But anyway. Tosses the catapult, which feels pretty weird. Not gonna lie. Alright, this time for sure this seer's gonna draw more. I bet this seer will draw mini seers. That's also true, Cave. But for a long time, I mean, I don't think you're gonna turn down free seers. This seer might be the best seer anybody has ever played in the history of Dominion. Coming up. I mean, pretty good. Not bad. Next one, pretty good too. This one didn't do it. I didn't love the silver and whatever. Could be worse. I'm catapulting the silvers too. I'm ready to attack. I'm even doing that over the den, double den. I feel like this deck is just going to slowly go down to the dens and the inventors emptying, and no one's going to do anything nice. So I'm just attacking so that my opponent is sad and frustrated. But chesstick is going for the double den, which I think is also quite good. How many more seers are there down in here? Several. Pretty unlucky. That chesstick was pretty unlucky, sort of unlucky. I mean, he had 2 really good seer reveals and then a bad one. But he didn't find at least one more. Find at least one more university so that they could either triple den or double den and attack. But oh well, that's the way it goes. I think they still had an inventor. I don't remember. They're equivalent. Kay was just joking around. You just don't get to call, which is so exciting. We made one of these statues, and then we made another statue just like it. The question is, where are they going to get the stone for his spear? There's not any. They seem to be just sort of chiseling out of one piece, but there's not enough rock over here to make the spear. So how are they going to do that? Does anybody here know a lot about chiseling things? How they would go about handling this duplicate case that I'm discussing? It doesn't really appear that there's this looks to be all of one piece, right? It Doesn't look like you could slot this in here some way. Duplicate. Duplicate. That's a puzzler. We'll have to bring that up at the next Society for Historical and Physical Accuracy and Dominion discussion. I think is on next Tuesday. What's going on with Crabcat's hand? Got a lot of actions. Gonna do some Guildmaster stuff. Very exciting. Gonna gain not quite enough cards for me to be truly happy for once in my life. Why did they not do that? That's a great point and question for the players. Choosing not to take an extra turn, or at least giving yourself the option to take an extra turn. Very strange. Why do they have so many Guildmasters? You know what? If I'm chesstick right now, I'm going for it. I'm gonna try to end the game and win this very instant. So I'm taking inventors. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And then I'm playing a Guildmaster. Then I'm playing a university and gaining yet another inventor. And then I'm playing my inventor and gaining yet another inventor. And then I'm playing my seers and seeing what kind of world we're living in. I love it. Pretty, not the best. We need to find some seers right now. I mean, you can't complain about a 2-draw, right? But I will. Okay, play another seer. You know you're getting that extra turn. You already got enough going on there. Oh, beautiful. No, you do want them in the shuffle. And in any case, it doesn't matter because this is what you got to do to win. All right, now you have to double din. Double din, and then I mean, there's no. Yeah, you could do the estate. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, I agree. That looks like the play. The estate could help quite a lot, actually. So that looks good. That looks like the line. Very good. It's so strange that crabcat didn't. Beautiful. I love it. Surely we'll get there. We got there. It's excellent. I love it. Very nice finish. I want to play. So who's playing this board with me? We're playing this board. I'm gonna make a board. Whoever gets in the seat first gets to play it. Someone's gotta play it. That or I gotta play the bot. I can't play the bot. That won't be any good. All right, so we ended 4-2. I should really load the kingdom rather the seeds, though I was certainly not paying close enough attention to the seeds at the start to know if one was way better or worse than the other. Does anyone else remember? I mean, I can do it either way. Here, I'll do it the more fair way. What is the thing to see the, how do I do it? Kingdom, like mine, does that do it? Is that a command? Beautiful. All right. All right. All right. Okay. It's all here. Did I kick somebody? If I kicked somebody, I didn't mean to. That was an accident. Did somebody hop in? I didn't see. I wasn't paying attention. The sun. How do I set boons? I don't know how to do that. All right, we're going back to loading the game. I don't know how to set boon. Someone's got to join though. It'll be fine. It's just friendly. We just want to see if we can build it slightly quicker. It's just a test of that. I mean, I can play the bot, but the bot won't attack, so we won't learn as much. Just need one person to sit. Seat. Oh. Avi did. Great. Perfect. We're gonna leave spec chat on and stuff. It's just a playthrough to see how it goes. We don't have to. It's not competitive and it's not a sweaty thing. We're just gonna click on cards and see if we can get the decks running slightly faster / cleaner. I'm gonna even skip. I have this $4 hand. I'm not even gonna buy inventor here. I'm gonna take silver. In fact, I probably am gonna get hit with an attack. I don't care if you stay in voice chat. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna buy another silver even, which is maybe dubious. Oh, they get it on turn. That's really tough. Oh, I see. This is a problematic shuffle for chesstick. What do I do? Guess I do this. This is unclear to me. I'm gonna go with nothing, though maybe silver was, or maybe druid was the play there. Getting nice earths. Clean up the inventor. I'm gonna take seer, and now I will take the inventor. And I'm going to take a guildmaster here. Maybe should have done it the turn before, but and since I'm probably getting slammed, I'm going to go with guildmaster druid. We're getting hit a lot. It's brutal out here. All right, I didn't find anything particularly good there. I'm going to do the curse in that. This is not clear to me. Maybe do a duplicate. I'll stick with the. That's a question. As of yet, no one's managed to hit 5, which I guess is not surprising. This is a pretty good hand for me, though. I think here I'm going to take duplicate. I will take a den now. Could have attacked, but I opted not to. Maybe that was a mistake. Put the seer in the shuffle here. Okay. All right. So we have, what do we got? Wind could be the play, actually. Do wind. Pretty nice winding. Okay, we get a guildmaster here and 2 buys. We get a double den. I don't know what they did as far as turns. This is pretty nice, though. But we also I think lost the seer split pretty badly. We'll see if we make it up with the den split. We're not getting attacked here, so that's pretty huge. Now we can should we university for another guildmaster? Is that a little, this may be stretching it a little bit. I'm gonna inventor for silver. Okay, not a great deal there, but well, I should really put the druid on top, though it doesn't matter too much. Ooh, this is awful. Maybe we win to pass this. It's pretty rough. I don't know what the seer went through. Split win. I may only have gotten 3 of them or 4 of them. This is pretty bad, actually. I feel like I need to win here. I'm going to gain nothing. This isn't ideal, but got to move a little bit. Okay. That's kind of what I'm looking for. All right, so we're going to get to island oak here. I wonder if I'm at the pile out that we saw previously. I'm gonna guess probably not. So we should probably, but it's probably okay to still lower a little bit. Even if it's not, we're just getting beat up on these coppers on top. This did not go where we needed it to go at all. Because I don't have to gain. It feels better to gain than not. Okay. We didn't move too far here. We get province. Then. And don't quite have it. Well, we can do it. Guess we'll do that. I really wanted to attack, but we didn't get there, so. Does let us add a university. I feel like if we attack, it's not scary at all. I don't even know if this is scary, to be honest. They can't. Avi can't island folk that this turn, I don't think. So. Of course, I didn't play my guildmaster, so I didn't get in a position to island folk again, but also the piles at this point are quite low. This felt a little bit faster than what they ended up with, but I don't remember. Let me look what the stats say on. They took 15 to 14 turns, so it wasn't super different. Yeah. And of course, like, I played from the first player seat and stuff, so again, this isn't necessarily a reflection on anybody's play, but it felt a little faster, but it was probably only about a turn faster. So, not hugely different. Thank you very much for playing with me, Avi, just so we could test it. I really appreciate that. So yeah, that was that game. Played again. I think I like some of the different things we did, but it's hard to say. So, in any case, thanks for watching the match with Chesstick and Crabcat. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all later.